All right, here we go. Unit 1, Lesson 4, Measuring and Classifying Angles. Angles, again, huge part of geometry. So there's a few kind of like basic types of angles that we have to kind of identify and define. The first one is going to be acute. So just kind of like the name, oh, it's cute, it's tiny, it's small. An acute angle is less than 90 degrees. Okay? Now, if we look at this angle here, how do we name this? So you'll notice that there are 2 points on the outside, and then there's 1 point in the middle. So you can call this angle, you could say that this angle is angle TQR, or it's angle RQT. Either way, notice Q is in the middle. So again, we have to identify that and put Q in the middle. A different acute angle would be SQT or TQS, okay? So there can be multiple acute angles, and again, those are both less than 90 degrees. A right angle equals 90 degrees, okay? And it's shown with a box. So again, we can see that we have a box right here. Okay, there's a box right here. So that's going to be our right angle. So I could say that this is angle PQR or angle SQP. Either way, those are both right angles. Obtuse angles are more than 90 degrees. So if I'm looking at obtuse angles, I got to find it like that it's big, it's open, it's wider than 90 degrees. So one angle I see that would be larger than 90 degrees could be PQT or TQP. So angle PQT is greater than 90 degrees or angle TQP. And lastly, our last kind of definition of an angle, and this is probably the easiest one, is a straight angle and it equals 180 degrees. So anytime you see a line, this angle right here is 180 degrees. So again, equals 180 degrees. I'm going to say that this is angle PQR or angle RQP. And again, we could call that a line or a line segment. 180 degrees would give us a line. So angle addition postulate. Angle addition postulate is really, really similar to our segment addition postulate. And the basic idea is you take your little angle and you add your other little angle, and it's going to equal your big angle. So in this example, we have angle RSP right here, and we have angle PST right here. And if we add RSP plus PST, it's going to equal our large or our big angle. So again, I take these two little angles and I add them together, and it's going to equal the big angle. So the measure of angle RST equals the measure of angle RSP plus the measure of angle PST. This M right here means measure. So the measurement of the angle. So given the measure of angle ADC equals 95 degrees. So again, that's my big angle. This big angle equals 95 degrees. Find the measure of BDC. So let's highlight BDC right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my formula. Again, this is kind of our generic formula. Little plus little equals big. And again, this is kind of review for, it's very similar to segment addition postulate. So what are we given? We are given the largest angle, the big angle. So I'm going to say little angle plus little angle equals big angle. So that's going to equal, I know it's going to equal 95 degrees. Now I don't know what the measurements of my angles are, but I do know that ADB, okay, ADB is a little angle, and that's 2x. And I know that my other little angle is BDC, and that's 4x plus 5. So I can take 2x plus 4x plus 5, and it's going to equal 95 degrees. This looks like an algebra equation to me. So I better start by combining like terms. 2x plus 4x is 6x. Again, always simplify everything you can first on the left side and on the right side. The right side, there's nothing to simplify. So now I think, my goal, my job is to get x by itself. So if I need to get x by itself, I'm going to go in reverse order for PEMDAS, okay, SADMAP. I need to do SADMAP. So do all subtraction and addition first. So I see right now that I have an adding 5. I'm adding 5 on the left side. So if I want to undo adding 5, I better subtract 5. And anything I do on the left, I have to do on the right as well. So let's subtract that. So this cancels out, and I'm left with 6x equals 95 subtract 5 is 90. Now, let's keep moving. Multiplication and division are on the same level. This says 6 multiplied by x. So if I need to undo 6 multiplied by x, I'm going to divide by 6 so that this cancels out. But it's an equation. So anything I do on the left side, I also need to do on the right side. So if I do 90 divided by 6, I'm going to get 15. So x equals 15. Now, you might think this is your answer, but let's revisit the question. The question said, find the measure of angle BDC. So when I see BDC, that's this section. It says 4x plus 5. So I'm going to take what I just found x to be, 15, and I'm going to plug it in here, 4x plus 5. So every time I see an x, I'm going to write 15 plus 5. 4 times 15 is 60 plus 5, and that equals 65. So the measure of angle BDC is 65 degrees. Measure and classify angles. UW bisects angle TUV. So this word bisects is in a very, very important word. It means splits in half. So we're going to create, if you bisect it, that means you're going to create 2 equal sides. So find the measure of angle WUV. And because this word is bisecting, I know that this angle WUV is actually the same as this angle TUW because it's bisects. So if I know that these are the same, how do I solve this? Well, I need to set these two things equal to each other. 3m plus 18 equals 4m subtract 2. Your first step when you get equations, okay, is again to simplify on the left and the right side. We can't simplify anything. Well, then we better get all of our m's together. So I have 3m on the left side and I have 4m on the right side. So I'm going to take my 3m and I'm going to subtract it on both sides. So this cancels out. All I'm left with is 18. 4m subtract 3m is 1m, and I still have subtract 2. Now, to undo subtract 2, again, think about PEMDAS backwards, which is SADMAP. The opposite of subtracting 2 is to add 2. So if I add 2 on the right, I better add 2 on the left. And so I'm going to get 20 equals 1m, or I don't even need that 1 because 1 times anything is itself. I could just say 20 times m, or 20 equals m. So again, that's not what the question asked. The question didn't ask me to find m. It told me to find 4m or to find WUV. So 4m minus 2. I'm going to take this number. I'm going to plug it in for m. 4 times 20, subtract 2. 80 minus 2 equals 78. So the measure of angle WUV equals 78 degrees. You could double check, okay, real quick. If we were to plug in 20 into this one, 3 times 20 plus 18, 60 plus 18, 72. So again, that word bisect means the same. And if we check 72 degrees, you know what? Oh, Mr. Larson, that's 78. That's 78. 60 plus 18 is 78. So, yes, we did get the exact same answer.